Do you like reading?
While I appreciate the value of reading, I must admit that I'm not a particularly avid reader. I find it difficult to concentrate on books for extended periods, and I often prefer more visual or interactive forms of entertainment. However, I do enjoy reading short articles, essays, or blog posts on topics that interest me. I also appreciate the occasional audiobook or e-reader for convenience and accessibility. How often do you read? As I mentioned, I'm not a frequent reader. I typically read short articles or blog posts a few times a week, depending on my schedule and interests. Occasionally, I'll pick up a book and try to read a few chapters, but I often find it difficult to stay focused. I'm working on improving my reading habits, but for now, I prefer shorter forms of written content. Do you have many books at home? While I don't have a vast personal library, I do have a small collection of books that I've accumulated over the years. These include a few classic novels, some non-fiction books on topics that interest me, and a couple of textbooks from my university days. I also have a few books that have been gifted to me by friends and family. What kind of books do you like to read? While I'm not a frequent reader, I tend to gravitate towards non-fiction books that are informative and thought-provoking. I'm particularly interested in topics such as history, science, and current affairs. I also enjoy reading biographies and memoirs that offer insights into the lives of inspiring individuals. Occasionally, I'll venture into fiction, but I prefer books with strong characters and engaging storylines. What was your favorite book as a child? While I don't have a particular book that stands out as my favorite from childhood, I do remember enjoying fairy tales and classic children's literature. Stories with imaginative characters and magical settings always captured my attention. I also enjoyed books that were illustrated with colorful pictures, as they helped bring the stories to life. However, I can't recall a specific title that I read over and over again. One person I know who loves to read a lot is my friend, Mihiraa. She and I met during our university days when we were both studying English literature, and since then, we have remained close friends. From the beginning, it was clear that Mihiraa had a deep passion for books. Whenever we had a free moment, I would often find her in the library, absorbed in one novel or another, sometimes completely losing track of time. Mihiraa has a wide-ranging taste in literature. She enjoys reading novels, especially those in the classic and historical fiction genres. Books by authors like Jane Austen, Leo Tolstoy, and Charles Dickens are among her favorites. However, she also has a keen interest in non-fiction, particularly history and psychology. I remember once she was deeply immersed in a biography of Marie Curie and spent hours telling me fascinating details about her life and scientific discoveries. I think Mihiraa enjoys reading so much because it allows her to explore different perspectives and ideas. She has a very curious mind, and reading gives her a way to understand the world in a deeper sense. It also offers her an escape from the stresses of daily life. Whenever she's stressed or overwhelmed, she turns to books as a source of relaxation and comfort. Through reading, she can step into different worlds and experience stories and events that expand her imagination and knowledge. Additionally, reading has always been a part of Mihiraa's life. Her parents are avid readers too, and growing up in such an environment, she naturally developed the habit of reading from a young age. I believe this early exposure to books, along with her inherent love for knowledge, is why she reads so much today. Do you regard famous writers as good role models? While I admire the talent and creativity of many famous writers, I don't necessarily consider them to be ideal role models. While their works may inspire and entertain, their personal lives may not be exemplary. Some writers may have struggled with substance abuse, mental health issues, or other personal challenges. It's important to remember that fictional characters and real-life individuals are often distinct entities. While we can appreciate the contributions of famous writers, it's crucial to evaluate them critically and avoid idolizing them. Ultimately, the best role models are those who inspire us through their actions, values, and positive contributions to society. How do our reading habits change as we grow up? Why does it happen? As we grow up, our reading habits often evolve. Children may initially enjoy reading for entertainment and escapism, drawn to stories with imaginative characters and magical settings. However, as we mature, our reading preferences may shift towards more complex and thought-provoking material. We may become interested in exploring different genres, such as non-fiction, historical fiction, or contemporary literature. This shift can be attributed to several factors, including increased intellectual curiosity, a broader range of interests, and the desire for deeper engagement with written content. Additionally, life experiences and personal growth can influence our reading choices, as we seek to understand the world around us and explore different perspectives. What can be done to encourage the habit of reading among children? Fostering a love of reading in children requires a nurturing and supportive environment. One effective strategy is to create a reading culture at home, where parents and caregivers regularly read aloud to their children. This exposes children to diverse stories, expands their vocabulary, and demonstrates the joy and value of reading. Additionally, libraries play a crucial role in promoting literacy by providing access to a wide range of books and offering engaging reading programs. Schools can also contribute by incorporating reading into the curriculum in meaningful ways, such as through book clubs, storytelling sessions, and creative writing activities. Furthermore, encouraging children to choose books that align with their interests and reading levels can make reading more enjoyable and rewarding. By creating a supportive and stimulating environment, we can cultivate a lifelong love of reading in children. Should reading be compulsory at school? Yes, I believe reading should be compulsory at school. Reading is a fundamental skill that provides a foundation for lifelong learning and personal growth. It expands vocabulary, improves comprehension, and fosters critical thinking. Additionally, reading exposes children to diverse perspectives, cultures, and ideas, broadening their worldview. While individual interests and learning styles may vary, compulsory reading can ensure that all students have the opportunity to develop essential literacy skills. Of course, the types of books assigned should be age-appropriate and aligned with students' interests to make reading a positive and engaging experience. How will ebooks affect paper books? The rise of ebooks has undoubtedly had a significant impact on the traditional paper book industry. While ebooks offer convenience, portability, and accessibility, they have not completely replaced physical books. Many readers still prefer the tactile experience of holding a physical book, the ability to highlight and annotate, and the aesthetic appeal of printed pages. However, the popularity of ebooks has led to changes in the publishing industry. Publishers have adapted by offering digital versions of their books, often at discounted prices. This has increased competition and forced publishers to innovate in order to remain relevant. Additionally, the growth of self-publishing platforms has made it easier for authors to distribute their work digitally, bypassing traditional publishing channels. While ebooks have certainly impacted the paper book market, they have not spelled the end for physical books. There will likely always be a demand for printed books, especially for certain genres and formats. The two formats can coexist, offering readers different experiences and catering to diverse preferences.